any tips to avoid a ball rolling animation to slide. So let's say you have a ball moving across the screen and you want it to not slide across. There are a few different ways you can do it. You can math it out. You can create a whole bunch of different things. And actually, let me share my screen and show exactly the process I would use. So let's just create a sphere here. I'm just going to go wireframe. Let's go right to the side view here. And I'm just going to turn on wireframe on shaded so that we can actually see it rolling. And let's move it forward. So we're going to have this go for, let's say, 72 frames. No real reason for that, just the number that came out. So it'll go there and it'll roll over here. Now let's open up the graph editor. And I just want to add a little bit of an ease out in here. Or sorry, an ease in. So just favor that a little bit. And we get this. Simple ball going across the screen. That's about it. Now we need to animate it rolling. How do we do that? How do we get this to roll nicely and believably without just having to guess and do a whole bunch of just hoping that it turns out? Well, there's a few different ways we can do it. The first way is we could math it out. We could actually figure out the math to create the proper roll for the distance that it's moving and all of this stuff. Blech. No, I'm not a fan of having to do math in animation more than I have to. And especially trying to figure out a rolling ball is just meh. Also, what if this ball isn't perfectly round, or it bounces off an object, or something else happens? It's going to be a nightmare of math. So instead, what I do is I just use what's already there, the translation of the sphere. So the translation is the movement forward. We can use that to build our rotation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my translation curve. I'm just going to copy it and paste it onto my rotation. So this is going to be rotate X. Edit, paste. There we go. Now we've got the sphere rolling. The problem is it's rolling in the wrong direction. For one, you can see it's actually rolling forward instead of backwards. So it, or actually wait, no, hey, it's actually rolling in the right direction for once. Usually it goes backwards. So yay, don't have to worry about that. So it's actually rolling in the right direction. And so we've got that, but it's not rolling nearly enough. So how do we get it to roll properly? Just scale up your curve. So I'm just going to take my scale tool, scale up the curve, and then scrub through. And when I'm trying to figure this out, I will just zoom in and watch to see if it feels like it's sliding or if it's rolling. If it feels like it's sliding in place, kind of just slipping on ice, scale up your curve a little bit more. Like that. Oh, almost there. Scale it up just a bit more. What does it feel like? So what I'm doing is I'm looking at like these points where the lines connect, and then just comparing it to the grid or any other object in the scene and seeing how it feels. So it's still sliding. Scale this up a little bit more. Oh, that's pretty close. Just a little scooch more. There we go. Let's kind of go to the end, because the ending usually you'll see it a little bit more when it comes to a stop. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now keep in mind, we're super zoomed in here. Once you go back to the distance here, no one's going to notice any little discrepancy. Then we get that nice perfect roll. Done. So it's a little bit of just kind of manual zoom in, adjust it. Now you could figure out the math, and like for the ball, you could sometimes just times the curve by a certain amount. I'm not a fan of that, just because sometimes, depending on how the object is rigged, those don't always match up. Whereas just scaling it manually, you'll always get to the solution anyway. And it's just a little bit of finagling. It literally took, what, 30 seconds of just a little bit more, a little bit more, and then you're done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Copy your curve. Sometimes you have to flip it and then scale it up and you're good. That's really it. Yeah, and the audience will never know that you didn't do the math. And it was super quick, super easy. Done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The main thing that you want to do is you want to make sure your translation is already pretty much polished before doing this, because any changes to your translation will now affect the roll, and then you'll have to redo the copy and all of that.